Hi, Maddie.
Nice of you to make it today.
I didn't have a choice.
Well, I've been looking forward to this interview. So let's start out with finding out a bit more about you. Where are you from exactly?
I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada.
What's your most vivid memory from your life in Canada?
Winter.
I'm laughing really hard because I'm from Montreal, so I get it. Okay.
if anybody ever tells you that Canada isn't cold, they're lying.
We're lying, absolutely. That's why I'm in Italy, and that's why you're in Los Angeles.
There you go. I can remember the art gallery in Edmonton used to be this old Victorian building downtown, and it was on a hillside. And I remember walking up these creaky steps to my class when I was probably about 10 years old. So that's one of my favorite memories of Edmonton.
Like, have you always wanted to be an artist as long as you can remember, or?
It's really funny. I have a girlfriend who's a jazz singer named Barbara Fisher, and we ran into each other again in Vancouver. And she was singing at a club, and I just happened to run into her. And um, so we ended up talking. We hadn't seen each other in about maybe 15 years. She said, "Are you surprised I'm singing?" And I said, "No, you always wanted to be a singer." And we were at my studio, and she was like, "And you always wanted to be a painter. That's all you ever talked about." So I guess, yeah, I have. No.
And I have to ask you this, but why do you paint so many trees?
Uh, I, Before this, I had only painted one tree. I live in a neighborhood in Los Angeles called Mount Washington, and I hike every day. And this winter, when I was hiking, I got really fascinated with the bare tree branches. And so I started photographing them. And from that came this series of black and white tree branches. The idea is, it's what I call it, into the woods, and you're uh, looking up at the branches above your head. So
And is it hard for you to part with your paintings?
it used to be, but no. But I'm always there's a few that I probably would have kept. It's funny. If someone likes something, even if they can't afford it, I just give it to them. Like I don't really care. It's like I I I love the fact that people want to have my work around them. So I think the thing that I want the most is I want to create something that people want to live with for a long time. It's easy to create something that gives you an initial shock value, or initial um, uh, you like it right off the bat, but it doesn't stay with you, or you get a little bored looking at it, and my goal is to make something that every time you look at it, you find something new in it, or you find something that you like about it. And I think that's probably why I went from realism. I started with realism and then surrealism for years, and then I switched to abstract, mostly abstract, maybe about 15 years ago. And it's what I like about abstract is that you can look at an abstract painting and find something in it every time you look at it. And I think that's really, if you're going to hang a piece of artwork in your personal space, I think that's important.
What would your dream project be?
I've always wanted to do a mural on the side of a building, and I've never done one. And I've done some designs for one. There was a competition here uh, for a building in my neighborhood, and I started doing the drawings for it, and then reread the invitation that had been sent by a friend of mine, and the deadline had already passed. So, I'm,
Tell me, is the artistic life lonely?
I think when you're creating, when you're actually doing the process, the creative process, it can be. Um, and I've most of my life worked alone. I've not been in a group studio. I've had my own studio. So in that sense, yeah, it is. But and because I had a studio in Milan with you, and that was one of the best times of my life. And I didn't think I would like working with other people. And in fact, it was exactly the opposite. I loved having other people to bounce ideas off of, and even, you know, just sitting having dinner with you and laughing our asses off. I mean, it was, you know, it was such a great experience.
So, what would you say you dislike about the art world?
Selling art. Honestly, it's my least favorite part of the whole process is trying to sell stuff. You know, like it's just it's antithetical to, you know, what you're doing. You hear you're creating this thing, and then you're trying to monetize it. You know, like, and it's really and it's again, you know, I did this, and I know you did the same thing, where I got a job that paid for my bills so that I didn't have to try and sell my work. And I'm not very good at it. I really am not. You know, like I'm not a great salesman. That was never going to be my role in life. And so, you know, I think that's the part I dislike the most.
In the course of your career as an artist, would you say that, I don't know, have you experienced any changes in how LGBTQ artists are recognized and included?
You know, personally, not really. I came out in the 1970s when I was like 17, I guess, or yeah, 17, 18. And I was really open, you know, like you know, I mean, for that time in particular, I was really open about being gay. And um, so it just, I'm sure it affected me, you know, but I never was aware of it. Where I think now, you know, because minority is such a big thing in the world, you know, that everybody's trying to pay attention more to minorities. Because I'm a part of a minority, then you know, maybe I get a little bit more of, you know, it allows me to have a bit more attention because I am gay. But you know, I'm also white. I'm also old. You know, like you know, so you know, those are. I've got one strike for and two strikes against. You know, it's like okay. So I don't know. You know, it's a tough question to answer. I just never really have had that much discrimination in my artwork or in my work. Um, you know, I worked in television for years as a creative director and designer, and no one cared that I was gay. I mean, people would sometimes every now and then get into with somebody, but it wasn't nothing more than, you know, like I was quite happy to challenge back. You know, I didn't care. Everybody has difficulties in their life. You know, I remember a girlfriend of mine. I was complaining about how difficult it was to be gay, and I remember saying that to a girlfriend of mine, and she said to me, "You do realize that life is really difficult for everybody." I thought,
Well,
okay, I'll shut.
I understand what you're saying. Like, I never let the fact that I was a woman get in the way of anything I wanted to do. I refused to believe that there wasn't anything that I couldn't do that I wanted to do. Of course, you know, things I'm not interested in, I don't care. And it served me well because I've gone places where no women have gone as a result. And especially as an artist, I think it's important to go beyond those boundaries of, like, you know, race and this is what I believe. But you know, maybe I'm an idealist. Maybe these things aren't possible. I don't know. We'll probably cut this part out of the interview, anyways.
I don't know. I kind of like this part of the interview. I have to tell you, you know, like I don't mind that it's a bit rambling. I think it's interesting. You know, I think, you know, here's two artists talking together. Sure, we're interviewing me for this post, but you know, I think you know, artists talking about their work and what it means to them. I think it's fascinating, especially if you're a young artist. You know, all these things help you. You know, like and I think it also helps dispel some of the things that may be bothering you, and you realize that, oh, I'm not the only one that went through that, or that, you know, oh, that's how they dealt with that. Or, you know, the other thing too, I wanted to say is, you know, like I'm a bit oblivious. You know, like I really am. I am not. I'm not the you know, person who's really aware of everything that's going on around me. As a matter of fact, I spend time trying to avoid being aware of everything that's going on around me. So you know, like, I mean, there may have been difficulties that I didn't pick up on. It doesn't mean I haven't suffered discrimination. I mean, you know, I've been attacked for being gay, you know, like physically attacked for being gay in Vancouver, actually. So, I have experienced that kind of discrimination. When I was growing up, being gay was illegal, so they could put you in jail for it. So it's, I've seen that side of it, but I tried not to let that color who I was, or what my life was about. And fortunately, I've had really good friends who didn't give a crap one way or the other. They just didn't care. It wasn't it wasn't the thing that they saw as defining me. So and especially my artistic friends. And I've had some really great people in my life who are artists who, have been, like fascinating to be around and fun to be around. And you and I've been friends for 40 years. I mean, how much fun have we had, over and over and over again in different cities all over the place,
Yeah,
so
always doing some working on some project together too, which is great.
yeah.
Um, what does the concept of pride mean to you personally?
You know, and that question is one of the reasons why I got involved in this project, and I've been helping with the website, is with the Uncommon Heroes project. Um, I I'm I'm proud of who I am, and part of who I am is being gay. It's not the only part of me, but it's an important part of me. And I want kids today to know that you can be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. Don't gay is part of it, but be proud of all the parts of you, but be proud of the gay part too. That's important. And I think, if if we want our community to be normalized in the in society, I think it's important that you have pride in who you are. I think that's just fundamental. I think you see the black kids doing it today, and they were doing it in the 60s. I mean, black is beautiful. When I was growing up, that was a big movement that, changed people's perceptions. Not everybody's, but it helped. And so I think it's important to have pride in who you are. And if you're gay, or you're trans, or you're uh, all of the different letters of that alphabet that are being used for describing queer people, then be proud of it. And if you're proud of who you are, other people will accept you. They just will. The majority of people will. So I think pride is absolutely fundamental in the movement for equality, for LGBTQ plus rights.
Okay. So I understand that you're donating part of the proceeds from the sales of your art to the Uncommon Heroes project, 20%. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's what we're going to be asking artists to donate 20% of what they sell on the site to the project. But I've decided to donate 50% of everything that I sell, just because the project needs a kickstart right now. So if you need a piece of art for your office or your home, this is a great opportunity to help the project and get a nice piece of art.
Wow. And that's really generous, Frank. Um, where can people see your artwork if they're interested?
Well, if you're in Los Angeles, you can come to my studio and see it here. And then there's also my website, which is frankmorrisjr.com. But you can see everything that I've got for sale is going to be posted on the uncommonheroesproject.org site.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easy. And how about commissions? Do you do any commissioned work?
I do, actually. I do commissions. And I don't just do abstract pieces, I do realism as well. I generally work in oils, but these last ones I've been working in acrylic. I had a very short time frame on a commission, and so I had to use acrylic. I couldn't have. It was a thick paint piece, and I would never have made the deadline in time with oil. So I switched to acrylic, and I've just stayed with the acrylic because I've been having a lot of fun with it. I just finished the commission. It's a 7 foot by 5 foot painting of jellyfish.
Wow.
It turned out really good. I really liked it. It's really cool, but it was not, it wasn't. Well, I wasn't expecting to be doing a 7 by 5 foot painting of jellyfish, but it was really fun. And he wanted a sea scene, and I was trying to come up with things that, that like an ocean scene, and I was trying to come up with some things, and I just kept gravitating back toward the jellyfish, and he liked the idea. So And he's a burner too. So you know, a Burning Man. They call
Oh,
them
right.
burners. Go to Burning Man, and so he really wanted me afterwards. This is after the fact. He wanted me to put black light in it because I guess the burners are really into black light. So I, I, he said,
That's
you know, if you do
retro.
black light paintings, you'll sell a lot of paintings. You know, I was laughing. I was like, okay. And I would think that that's such a throwback for me to the 60s, because remember all the black light posters we used to have in our rooms, you know, like of all the Jimi Hendrix. You know, I really like posters. So I've got a pretty good collection of them. I've got a really great poster that I got in Buenos Aires. That's of a feston, a big party, and it's you know, talking about like how, you know, like I said, a little cerveza, you know, costs, you know, a couple of pesos, you know, that kind of thing. And it was this really cool poster. I had it in my house in Hawaii for a long time.
I have that poster that you made for the show in Barcelona, which is that giant dick. It's beautiful. And what was it called? What did you had written the word
Oh, and I put all these swear words in Spanish in it. Yeah,
it's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to frame
but
it.
yeah, that was a wild show. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, we did a show called Sex and Point. That was an erotic art show in Barcelona, and it was the first time that it had always been about pornography before, and this was, they were trying to switch it to art. And so Madalena and I went to Barcelona with our artwork and did this show, and it was hilarious. We had so much fun. But it was, you know, like we were setting up, and I was putting paintings up, and Maddie goes, "Oh, you got to go across the way. There's the lesbians have this giant table of dildos with dildos I've never seen before." I was laughing. I was like,
No,
"Oh,
because none of them look like actual penises. They look like alien penises or like mushrooms or some kind of, I don't know, sea creature.
that one's green velvet. That's weird, you know."
Oh,
But it was a fun show. I enjoyed it. So that was the poster you're talking about.
yeah, it's been great catching up with you, Frank, and speaking about art and about Los Angeles and about the Uncommon Heroes project. And I hope we get a chance to do more of that soon. And you can keep us posted on your new pieces.
Absolutely. It was great talking to you, and I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Likewise. Like,
Okay.
gotta plan my trip to LA soon.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye bye.